Got to get it, Papa. Missouri!
We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you today!
I made it to Missouri. Woohoo, woohoo! Listen to the sound of joy in my voice. Woohoo, woohoo! I'm gonna miss my turn. Hay bale time! Hey, bales! Well, it's a pretty day today. And here I am. And look that. It's that Stonehenge thing. Where them guys in them robes run around and do stuff. But this ain't the real Stonehenge. This is in Rolla or Rolla. I don't know how to say it. But I'm looking west right now. You see way back there? It says west on it. That's because all this stuff lines up with some kind of star stuff and all that. And look, the Druids even leave their rubber gloves behind because, you know, that's why they're all extinct pretty much. But yeah, it's like, look, we're lining it up. Watch, I'm gonna show you something. I don't know what, but this is it's all scientifically based and everything. So you come here, you can see what time of day it is and all. And I think that's what this is. Either that or it tells you that it's lunch. No, that just tells you what month it is. Right now it's June. So yeah, I'm not sure. June's down there. I don't know. Hang on. You get in the middle of this thing. This is interesting. If you are into Stonehenge kind of stuff, or if you happen to be a Druid, you might be interested in coming to Rolla, Missouri, and checking this out. They have all the instructions on how to do everything. It's too complicated for me. I'm definitely not a Druid. I can't figure out nothing. But and remember, Druids aren't jerks. They don't stand on the analemima. You know that thing. They don't stand on it. Just don't even think about it. That's stupid. Be a Druid reject. But they also have around here this weather station. So they have some weather sensing equipment right over here, including that big windy spinny thing. It's not spinning too much right now, but if it was, I'd probably be flying all over the place, blowing away. But look, the little one here is spinning around. Watch. See that? Look at that. The wind's changing direction a little bit. I might be messing up their readings, I don't know. Ooh, ooh. Overall, the weather's pretty good right here. Well, that's pretty fancy, huh? Look, there it is from a long way off. And just imagine some little Druid guys jumping around in there and doing their Druid stuff and telling time. There's a little information about how they came up with the idea to build this thing, the Stonehenge. Very interesting. And oh, there's a lot of information on here. Pretty interesting. And look, oh wait, there's nothing on this side. Wait, oh, here we go. Some acknowledgments about who was involved with this this deal. Don't see stuff like this in Louisiana too often. A road that goes right through the rocks. Kill! That's some heavy digging they had to do there. I wonder how many shovels they went through. I bet you they went through a few. Well, here I am. I finally found a place to get some lunch in Jefferson City, Missouri. But right now I'm just looking at the little neighborhood over here. It's kind of like a little village. Kind of cool stuff around here. Some of it's not open today because it's Sunday morning or Sunday lunch. But it's actually the village. But I'm going to eat in here. And this is Nick's. And it's a family restaurant. Should have some good food. I've got a pretty cool place there. Enough room for one. Oh man, I already got some food coming. Trying not to get in the way while I walk around, but it's pretty neat. It's big. Oh man, and look that. That's some good looking stuff there. I got me a chicken fried steak, some mashed potatoes and gravy, and green beans. And I already ate some of the bread and got the coleslaw over there. But it looks good. They have all kind of stuff like this: fried chicken, seafood, shrimp and fish and things like that. And you could get family orders where they just bring a big pile of food to your table. Yeah, they got big family orders where you just get the big pile of stuff at your table and everybody gets what they want. Or you get individual plates like what I did. But right now, I'm going to try this. Let me try green bean first.
Thank you. I'd say the hour or the wait is an hour and a half.
Green beans. Good. Mashed potatoes.
Oh, we just have to wait.
Now for the piece de resistance. Chicken fried steak. That's good. That's some good stuff. I'm gonna need a nap after this. Well, that was really good. They did a great job. They have people out on vacation and things like that, so they're kind of short-handed in a way, but they kept up with everything. The food was delicious. Chicken fried steak is always a good thing, but the gravy, they had the white gravy, but had a little bit of seasoning in it that was good. Some places make a bland white gravy. Theirs is really good. And if you are ever in Jefferson City, Missouri, look up Nick's, and it's a good place. Bring a bunch of people and get a big pile of food on your table and everybody just rip into what they want. It's good stuff. I'll see y'all on down the road a little bit. Okay, just travel observations. I may do some of these every once in a while things are going on and I'm traveling. But who out there, if you're a passenger in a vehicle on the passenger side up front, Who out there takes their shoes off, and probably their socks if they were wearing socks, and puts their feet on the dashboard? That's nasty. The old stinky feet up on the dashboard. Nobody wants to see that. And then, if it's not even your car, you're putting your feet all over the dashboard in somebody else's car? No, that's stupid. That's nasty. I don't understand that. Somebody else has probably talked about that on one of these channels or something before, but I just thought I'd bring it up. So somebody just passed me in a little minivan with their big old feet up on the dashboard, all smashed up on the windshield, putting footprints all over the windshield and everything. And you know, why don't you just roll the window down and hang your legs out? You know, I don't know. I just don't know. That's all for now. Wow. Oh, yai. Oh, yai. Where do you go in? I'm going around the block. No, I just missed the turn, everybody. Where did those people go? There was somebody behind me, and now they're gone. They're gone. They're just gone. Where did they go? They're gone. Look, there's stuff growing on that. It's Auto World Museum.
This is this seems to have fallen in love with y'all.
There's some very oldies in here. 1903 Humberette. Humberette. I've never heard of that one. Brass trim. They didn't do chrome trim way back. Either brass or nickel plated, something like that. And look, this is how you'd steer it, and that's the horn. You know, it was a tiller. No steering wheel in that one. 1902. We hadn't got around to the steering wheels yet. And this is actually a pickup truck version. You could use that for put your hogs in the back or something if you really wanted to. And it's a merry olds. There's a lot of cars in here. Old cars. Not just like, oh, that's a 2009. Yeah. The famous Ford Model T. That's a biggie. That's a 1909 Ford Model T. All the brass trim. That's pretty cool. And you sit back here and you're all up high and everything. And then that's, you can't actually sit on that. That was the roof folded up. Because it's a touring car. Most of the cars back then were actually convertibles. And here's a cool one. 1909 Lambert. Who out there has heard of a Lambert? This one must be original. It doesn't look like it's been restored at all, but it's in pretty good shape physically, so it should have probably sat in a barn or something for a long time. That's pretty amazing if that's all original. There's a wagon back there. And a horsey. And this is a black auto buggy. Never heard of auto buggies either. I don't know how he found these things. auto buggy. There's just a ton of stuff here, but this is actually a Studebaker. And you can tell because it's cool. Here's cool. This is a Model T truck with pretty much a custom built wooden body on it. And it's got like the cool handles and the doors and everything. And basically they had the frame and the front end with the hood and all, and built a wooden body for it. Packard. Shame they don't make Packards anymore. And here's another Jolly Oldsmobile, 1917. Take a look under the hood. Ma, you could use a tune-up here. Let's look at the Packard's engine. Look at this, they have these big wind wings. Plus a windshield, a sneeze guard, so whoever's driving, you don't sneeze in the back of their head. Gross them out. And look, little jump seats in there for your little friends. And the big friends sit in the back. And here's the engine way over here. It's a long car. But it wasn't exactly cluttered under the hood and jam-packed with stuff like it is these days. 22 Dodge. 1922. Well, they have them packed in here too. These cars are inches away from each other. I wouldn't want to have to move one out. A Scripps booth. A Scripps booth. They get you a new 2021 Scripps booth with all the features. With an engine. And you a little oil can in case you need some oil on it. And look at the seats in here. If you can tell, driver's seat's a little bit further ahead of the passenger seat, so you always cross the finish line before your passenger. Ha! In your face. But then this is a really cool one. 1930 Model A Sport Coupe. And it's got the wide white walls. It's got convertible top, and in the back it's got a rumble seat, which the car next to it has that rumble seat open. You can see it back there. That one's cool. Holy smokes, that's a cool looking. They're all cool looking. It's a Cord. C-O-R-D. A brand new 2021 Cord. And look, a Willis Knight. Big black sedan. And there's a giant fire truck monster coming out of there. I don't think they need a siren. If I saw this thing coming barreling down at me, I'm pretty sure I'd get out of the way. There's a 1919 Chevrolet. You see the USA in this Chevrolet. Pretty cool. They got their rubber boots. Oh, they got the fire. Oh, this would be the fire chief's car. For all you firefighter folks out there. This is what the chief would ride in. And he'd throw all his junk in there. Here's a pretty one. Sort of a limousine type. This is what you'd ride when you were in the parade and everybody throws stuff out of the windows at you, like rolls of toilet paper and stuff. And confettis. And that's a Buick. That's what Buicks used to look like compared to what they look like now. What a difference. This is interesting because this is a 1926 Moon. If you've ever heard of a Moon, you know more than me because I've never heard of a Moon. But here's what's interesting about it. Last time this car was inspected, meaning they were driving it around, was 1953. So they were still riding around in this thing into the 50s. God, there's just so much in here. You kind of do an aerial view. That's an International pickup. Good old International. And here, this is a cool sedan delivery. Kind of hard to get a good picture of it. That's pretty neat. That's heavy. Right there. And that's a Dodge. Because it's got the little Ram on it. The Ram. Started the Ram way back then. And this is a bathtub. Who can name this? Who can name this car? It's a Hudson Terraplane, and look at that hood ornament, which actually I think it's kind of translucent, so it might light up or something. They would do that sometimes. And the horns mounted on the outside, so when somebody beeped the horn at you, it was really loud. You definitely heard it. And this is a Lincoln Mark 1. Now they have all the marks. This is Mark 1. This is where they started that. So get with it. But look out, from across the ocean comes a Rolls Royce. Actually, 2 Rolls Royces. 1931 and a 1928. And this is the cool one with the cabriolet top. I believe that's what you call it. Where only half of it rolls back. But I think you might be able to take the whole thing off if you really want to. And look, what happened to the steering wheel? The steering wheel's on the wrong side. That's why they didn't sell too many of these over here. They got the steering wheels on the wrong side. Golly, I mean, how are you supposed to drive that? But this Rolls has a steering wheel on the American side. Well, what's the deal with that? Questions. Oh, and look at that. Looks like you're fixing to grind up some meat or something. But that's just the grill on this Buick. 1950 Buick, to be exact. That's a big, huge car. That is just a giant car. And it's got the portholes on it and everything. But look at this one. This is another Lincoln Continental. Lincoln, let's see, a 1956 Mark II. It took them that long to get to Mark II. There's the Mark I. And there's the Mark II. But look at some of the cool details on this car. It had these cool little scoops built into the fenders. And look, there's the hump on the back for the spare tire. And see, on the other one, it was actually, the whole thing was out, but it had a cover on it and everything. And then you have the trunk on top of that. That's pretty amazing. The evolution of car styles. And let's see something behind this one that we can check out. A Chrysler Imperial from 1960. Like they say, this is a wide glide machine. The chrome all around. And what I like, well, a couple of things I like is like the logo there. Look, in my hand in a way. Let's see if I can get this side so you can see it better. That's how you put a logo on a car. And then it's like this. The mirrors, even the mirrors, it's like, look at this, how they're mounted on there and everything. And this is a long car. Here's the same Chrysler. And it's got the Lincoln Continental treatment on the back of it. With that kind of a bump on it. There's the Lincoln back there. And there's the other Lincoln way back there. All their spare tires. But wait till you see this. Now that's how you make a tail light. It's like a rocket. You're going down the road and a streak of red fury behind you. There's another hood ornament that's pretty amazing. Any idea what kind of car this is on? It's a 1952 Kaiser Manhattan 4-door sedan. A Kaiser. When's the last time you heard of one of those? That's pretty cool. And some movie people might see something familiar about this car. What does this grill remind you of? Gust boosters, of course. This is a sedan version of the Cadillac Meteor ambulance that they used in the Ghostbusters movie. And you see this end, you might really recognize it. See? Over there and right there. These things are incredible. All you have to do is put the big ambulance top on it, and the door would be back there where they drag the proton packs out. They'd be ready to fight some ghosties. Amazing cars, whether they were for the Ghostbusters or not. Note this white one here is a Corvair. That was Chevrolet. And that's the car that was infamously basically banned by our old pal Ralph Nader. Anybody with a name like Ralph Nader, you know he's got to be a weasel. But he hated this car because it had a rear engine in it. And it was sporty. So according to data and that type of thing, it was dangerous to drive because all the weight was in the back, and the front wheels, the steering could be affected by that, making it dangerous. Plus it was a convertible. He hated everything that was cool. So, you know, that was the end of the Corvair. Otherwise they might still be making some of these things, a version of it. That red car's an Edsel. There's another doomed to history car, which is like a chrome monster mobile, you know, like all the 50s chrome cars. And look at that. That's a Studebaker. Yellow. Now that was a sporty car, even though it's so big by comparison to sporty cars these days. That was pretty amazing. Look at the colors on that. The bottom and the roof are like a green color, and then the hood and the middle part's kind of a yellow. That is a Marlin. How many people out there remember the Marlin? It's a 60s car. I believe it's a, I can't hardly read it. I think it's a Chrysler, something like that. Dodge Chrysler or something. Plymouth. But the Marlin was cool because of the back end of it. It's hard to see because it's kind of dark. But it's just this big, long, kind of fastback sort of thing. And that was the Marlin. The giant window on the back. Here's an exciting idea. How about electric cars? We'll start with this in the 1975 Renault. It's a master of engineering and electronic plausibility, because you open the trunk up, it's full of batteries. So it's like, okay, well that's cool. Well, you get up front and it's full of batteries. It's a model of efficiency. So luckily they have a back seats, because that's where you can put your suitcases and stuff, since there's no room under the hood or under the trunk. That's nice, but not as nice as this. Over here, the Stanley Steamer. This is the engine for the Stanley Steamer, which if you didn't pay attention to what you were doing with it, could explode, because it was steam powered. You had to kind of keep an eye on that. Otherwise, it's interesting. I like the way the back just slopes off, it just slopes forever. The car could actually probably been about half the size, but also look how high it is. Amazing. And here's the other amazing things. We got the solar powered car that nobody's doing solar anymore as far as cars go. We got that car, and we got the time machine. This is pretty amazing. Like I said before, though, it really were cool looking cars, and they're supposed to try to make them again, some form of Delorean. And there's a lot of people that have them and maintain them, not as time machines, but just as regular drivable DeLoreans.
Cool. I don't think I can sell that.
I agree, that is cool. Well, you know, people ask me all the time, how come you're not a firefighter or something? And I had no idea why they asked me that. But anyway, out here at the Auto World Museum is this little fire truck. You can see it. This is a fun one where they have a guy that rides on the back, and he gets to spin the wheel on the back and make it fly all over the place and everything. And all the ladders and stuff are like stacked up underneath him, and there's a big extension ladder that goes on top. And let's see, down at the bottom you got the little life net in that box down there, and you got some foliage to keep it camouflaged in case somebody's trying to get you and you gotta hide. You keep the camouflage on there, and you just, you know, walk along, and it's like, okay, there's a guy back there. Hey, partner, hey, how's it going? You know, watch out for bugs. And we keep going, and you go a little bit more, and you go a little bit more. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And this part right here is what that big ladder is hooked onto. See, that big ladder is on there, and it can lift up and go down. And it's got this round thing on here, and it goes roundy round, and you spin that around, and everybody gets sick and throws up. And then you put the fire out, and then it's like, okay, partners, pack everything up, we're going home. And so everybody starts packing up, and they start putting all their stuff on there. This is still the same truck, by the way. It's one truck, and they keep packing up, putting all their stuff on there, and eventually the driver says, okay, I'm leaving, bye, and he jumps in right here and drives away. And that's a fire truck. That's a real fire truck. That's a big time fire truck. That's for the big boys, and that's amazing. And they're trying to figure out what they can do with that. If anybody knows or has an idea of somebody that does work on gigantic fire trucks and fire equipment, get in touch with the museum here, the Auto World Museum. And it's because something like this, there's not too many of these left around. And I would have fun driving around in one of these, but I don't have a garage big enough to put that in. But the poor thing needs a lot of work, but it's salvageable right now. And luckily, one of the nice things about it for the newbies, when you get you a new driver, is they got that little deal on there that shows you what gear to put it in. To go first, second, third, fourth, reverse, and LL. Low, LL I think is low. It's a low gear. But yeah, man, look at this thing. That's quite a piece of machinery. Bushes and all. I think you get to keep the bushes if you are to get this. If you were to take this and do some work on it, you can keep the bushes. And remember, keep back 500 feet or the guy that's sitting in that chair will spit on you. Don't ask me how I know. Well, that's about it for here. But I think I'm gonna head down the road, so I'll see you then. Hang on to something, 'cause look, Dad's coming back pretty soon.